has no storage space. Please clean up now. Storage is full? Click to clean up. Is your phone slow? Why not have this app? Click the link below. It will automatically clean up the junk on your phone.
Hello? 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 Is this on? Ah, okay. Where's Wes? I would like Wes. Okay. Okay, when you get it. Hello? Hello?
He's coming up. Get a minute, Barbara.
Oh, okay, doke. Also, Judy? Yeah. Down here.
Perfect. Thank you.
Just the two of them?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Is Judy Gregg? And Judy, his wife, is also another artist, so. Hello? We've got some power here. Hello and greetings to everyone. Before I start off here, I'm going to at least give you an apology. There are no musicians tonight. I just got the word from Yvette and Lanny, who are in San Diego. They're putting up a production there. And it turns out that John Mayer and Ron McCurdy have it down that they're supposed to be here the 15th. So they're in San Diego also. However, they will be rebooked. John sends his great apologies, as does Lanny, saying we're so sorry about this confusion here. And since you've come out and we don't want you to feel like, oh, I made this trip for bloody nothing, we're going to try and do our best to give you something to be entertaining, and it will probably be an earlier night, though. But any rate, I'm going to start off with what I have here. This is the first Jazz Vespers of the New Year. So, Happy New Year, everybody. And this being a new year, we selected scripture tonight that deals with being new. This is from Paul's second Corinthians. Paul was writing to the Corinthians who were having a lot of trouble and misunderstanding getting the new church started. And he says to them, "Therefore, if any man be in Christ, he is a new creature. Old things are passed away. Behold, all things are become new." That's 2 Corinthians chapter 5, verses 17. And in this letter to the Corinthians, Paul is saying the acceptance of Christ means you become a new person. But the thought can be applied to any new beginning. Many religions even have a tradition whereby at the new year, one forgives all the supposed transgressions, both committed and received. To some extent, that's what New Year's resolutions are about. You commit to becoming a better or a new person. However, we don't follow through, but we commit to trying. So with that in mind, I thought I would say, for me, I'm a painter. A new beginning starts with paint, because basically I'm a painter, and it starts with color. The color for me is a conveyance of the emotional content that I have put into this and hope that it conveys some of that to the viewer. And each time I take up this surface and I start with it, I select the colors and get going, and it is a new creature. It's new because it no longer has any of the associations of the paintings that were done before. And because color is extremely important to me, I look at everything in the world through the eyes of color. And I have this book, and I'm supposed to have a husband that's going to come up and help me with it. Has anybody seen Wes Nathanson? Oh, there you are. Is your mic on? Is your mic on? Oh, you got the okay. We are going to give you a little bit of ideas of a few colors from a book called, Wes, tell the book? No, you start off with the book. The book is Hailstones and Halibut Bones by Mary O'Neill. All right, let's start off with blue. Blue is the color of the sky without a cloud. It's cool, distant, beautiful, and proud. Blue is a heron, a sapphire ring. You can smell blue in many a thing. Gentian and larkspur, forget-me-nots too, and if you listen, you can hear blue.
Yellow. Yellow is the color of the sun, the feeling of fun, dandelions, daisy hearts, custard pies, and lemon tarts. The yolk of an egg, the duck of a bill, a canary bird, and a daffodil.
Red. Red is a sunset, blazy and bright. Red is a feeling brave with all of your might. Red is a lipstick. Red is a shout. Red is a signal that says, watch out. Red is a show-off, no doubt about it, but can you imagine living without it?
Green. Green is the coolness you get in the shades of tall old woods where moss is made. Green is a flutter that comes in the spring when the frost melts out of everything. Green is the world after the sun. Bathed and beautiful again.
Gold. Gold is a metal. Gold is a ring. Gold is a very beautiful thing. Gold is the sunshine, light and thin, warm as a muffin on your skin. Long time ago I was told yellow's mother's name is gold.
So, in summary, colors dance, Colors sing, colors laugh, and colors cry. Turn off the lights and colors die. So each has a smell, and each has a wonderful story to tell.
These are just some of the colors. I'm sure if you look at other colors, you can make up your own poetry to them yourselves, and I hope that you will look at things with that in mind. Colors are emotions, colors are flowers, colors are moods, colors are everything around us, and we're fortunate, those of us who can see and who can enjoy the colors. I've asked, since we have to kind of do a little impromptu performing here, I've asked our artist if she would give you a little bit of an art talk about what she's done with these paintings that you see, and I think you'll have fun with that. And after she has had a chance and given you some opportunity to ask questions about it, we're going to have Barbara Stiles come up and give a Tai Chi demonstration. Those of you who do not know, she teaches Tai Chi, and she's quite beautiful when she does it. So for now, I'd like to introduce our guest visual artist tonight, Susan Spector.
Barbara, thank you. I met Barbara at LA Art Association Critique Group, and much like what she does here with her volunteering, she volunteered to head that group, which took a lot of time and energy and emails and coordination, and she was marvelous at it, and she continues to be. So thank you, Barbara. Thank you for inviting me. Hello, everyone. Happy New Year to you. And thank you for having me. Thank you for allowing me to share my artwork with you. And I am honored. And I did meet and talk with some of you in the lobby, and I'm very grateful for that. And thank you for looking at my work and stopping and asking questions. I appreciate it. I am Susan Spector. I am an artist. It's kind of wild to actually stand here and say to you I'm an artist, because I've only been painting for about 9 years. I stopped working at an admin job at a local university. I was there for about 15 years, and prior to that to another organization for another 15 years. So I was working with artists and art instructors, and every time they would come into my office, I would say to them, "Oh my God, I want to do what you're doing." And they would say to me, "Well, get a brush and join the class." So it took leaving my job and finally starting to paint, and here I am, and I had my first solo show this past May 2022, and it was pretty amazing. I continue to exhibit in group shows. I have another show coming up, a solo show coming up this August. So I'm excited to be here and excited to share my work with you. So my work is a little different. It's not fine art. It's a little different than what you might be accustomed to seeing. Generally, I paint with water-based paints. That would be watercolor, acrylic. I love sumi ink, which is a dark Japanese ink that when water touches it, it just flows onto the paper. I love those mediums. But then I decided to experiment with spray paint, something I had never done before. And I admire graffiti artists, so I just thought it would be fun to try spray paint and see what would happen. So my solo show was called Stick Stones. And what I did was I reached out through social media, through Instagram and Facebook, and asked the question, what is a phrase from your past that you still hear in your head over and over and over again? So we all have them. I have them. I'm sure you have them. Phrases such as stand straight, don't chew with your mouth open, don't run with scissors, money doesn't grow on trees. So I'm wondering if anybody out there wants to just shout out a phrase that comes to their mind that they would like to share with us, something that they heard, whether it was from your mother, your father, your grandparents, your siblings, a friend. Anyone? Yes.
Find good trouble.
Find good trouble. I love that. I love that. Thank you. Anyone else? Yes.
Eat your food because there's starving children in China.
Oh my gosh, yes. Eat your food because there are starving children in China. How many of us heard that? Here's somebody shaking her head. Yes, back here, the black. Yes. Anyone else?
Life is hard and then you die.
Oh my goodness. Life is hard and then you die. Okay? So what I did, oh, Barbara, yes.
Getting old is not for wimps.
Getting old is not for wimps. I can appreciate that as I got out of bed this morning going, my back hurts. So what I did, I received over 100 responses to my query, and I took some of those responses, and some of them resonated more than others, and I created artwork. And some of you saw the artwork in the lobby, and Greg is going to hold a couple pieces for me, and we'll talk about those, and if you have any questions, I can answer that. My goal was to paint as if I was a child. I kept trying to keep in my child's brain. So my lines are not straight, my tones are not right, my values are not correct, my shoulders might be off, some of the text might not fit in the paintings. So, but think about a child who is sitting there. My child was sitting on the ground, cross-legged, with crayons, just, I don't know, I see butterflies and I see her just, she's humming and she's just drawing. She doesn't care whether it's a man or a woman. She doesn't care what race. She's just free and drawing and whatever she wants to do. So that's how I approached my 30 plus pieces of artwork. I used spray paint on these paintings. The challenge I found, and as I mentioned, this was my first time spray painting, the challenge I found was I learned quickly that you can't, or you shouldn't, or I shouldn't, spray paint with the canvas on the ground because the spray paint can will clog. I didn't know that. So then I started painting with my canvases, and I used raw canvas, and I had to paint outside because the spray paint was so toxic. And I wore a mask. Most times I remember to wear a mask. And I took the canvas, the unprimed canvas, and I was out in front of my garage, in the front yard. I had the canvases scotch taped to my garage door. I had cardboard behind them so the paint wouldn't spray onto the garage door. And I was out there just spraying. And sometimes the paintings worked and sometimes they didn't. This particular one that says stand straight, I painted that probably 5 different times because the lettering didn't work or I ran out of room, but we can talk about that later. So that's really it. It's just I wanted people to laugh when they came and they looked at my paintings. This was after during the pandemic still last year, and we had all sort of been overwhelmed with what was going on with the pandemic, with our health, with politics, with the economy, and I just wanted to make people laugh. And I accomplished that. People came into my show, they laughed. I watched people go out and grab their friends, their children, bring them back in to look at the paintings, and they laughed. I also asked them to write their phrase that they still had in their head on Post-it notes, sticky notes. So by the end of my show, one entire wall was covered with Post-it notes with phrases from people. So it was very successful. I had a wonderful time. I saw people and friends I hadn't seen for years, and it was quite an exceptional experience. So that's it. So I've asked Greg to help me.
Sure.
Greg is going to hold up, let's start with Stand Straight.
This one?
Yes. I just met Greg, by the way, so he's very generously offered to help. So Stand Straight. There were probably 5 different anonymous people that sent in phrases, sort of like, it was like stand straight, stand tall, shoulders back. I don't remember the other ones, but that was the genesis of this painting. And can you hear me? Good. So I don't generally start with the face. I start with the shoulder, and I remember standing here with a spray paint can. You have to be very, very quick with your... So with this, okay, I'll stay here. So with the spray paint cans, you have to be very quick with your arm, because if you don't, then if you end up stopping here like this, there's a drip. And the drips were fine for me. It didn't matter because, again, if I was a child, I didn't care about a drip. It was just something that happened. The mouth is just fun. The fingers, there happens to be 5 fingers there. And then I started here with stand, and then I got down to straight. And one of the paintings, I ran out of room, and the HT ended up going towards the foot. This one happened to be the last one. And then I was watching something, I don't know if it was a YouTube video or something in the news, and somebody was talking about spray painting, and he was an artist, a graffiti artist. I saw him turn the can upside down, and I went, oh my God, look what I can do. So those dark blue wisps in this person's hair was me taking the spray paint can and just turning it upside down and seeing what happened. So the whole thing, everything was just sort of, I don't know, just kind of happened. I was happy with it, pretty fabulous. So that's stand straight. Thank you. Yep. Again, these were all on unprimed canvas, which means that the paint absorbed into it. There wasn't any plastic on the canvas, and I had them stretched and framed after the fact. This is Be a Lady, and I received probably 3 different responses, like act like a lady, be like a lady, cross your legs at the ankle, things like that. And this is what transpired. This is what I created out of that phrase. And I made my lady what I thought was proper. I think she's wearing pearls, and she has her legs at the bottom. Her ankles aren't crossed. And I painted this one a couple times too, because Be a Lady, it just didn't work, because with the text, it was very, very hard for me with the spray paint cans to create letters. I now know after the fact that there are many, many different kinds of tips for spray paint cans. So now I'll try again to make the letters, but most of the lettering is with acrylic paint. And I think that's it. I went back afterwards and I outlined the letters because they didn't pop enough. And if Greg shows you the back, even the backs I like, because it creates a whole nother piece of artwork with the back, because it all just fades through or bleeds through. So that's it. If you have any questions, Greg, thank you. And any questions, I'm happy to answer them now as we vamp. If not, I'll meet you outside afterwards, and any questions I'm happy to answer. Please sign my guest book, put your email down, and I will let you know about future shows. There's also a postcard that says, caution, I'm in retrograde, which was the publicity. Yes.
I just want to know, when did you discover a love for art, and when did you recognize you were an artist?
So the question was, when did I have a love for art, and when did I recognize I was an artist? That might be a long question. My cousin remembers me as a little girl coloring. She said to me that her vision of me is on my stomach with my legs crossed, my feet up in the air, and coloring. I actually don't remember that.
I'll take that and I'll take your hand.
First step is really narrow.
All this unnecessary wiring as it turns out.
I think my long answer is I finally paid tribute to my love of art after I worked. My struggle when I was working is I wanted to be smart. I wanted to be smarter, and I thought it was important to be intelligent and smart and use that side of my brain and not the art side of my brain, not the right side of my brain. So I really, as I grew and had a family and children and work, I neglected the right side of my brain. and I now pay tribute to it and enjoy it and use it most of the time when I'm doing the art of business or painting. Thank you for the question. Anyone else? Thank you so much. You're all amazing. Thank you for having me here.
Thank you, Susan, and I thank all of you in the audience for being so kind and so attentive and bearing with us, because we didn't want you to go away empty, of your soul feeling a little empty, and we hope that visual art can cover up a little of those corners. For those of you that came later, John Mayer had the date down wrong. He thought he was supposed to be here the 15th, and so he and the drummer, Ron McCurdy, are down in San Diego. They send their great apologies, as do Yvette and Lanny, for the whole mishap, and we hope you will come back again. But we have another artist in our midst here, Barbara Stiles, who, I don't know if you know much about her history, but she's done all kinds of things, school teaching, but she started off as a dancer. And now she does Tai Chi, and she teaches it here at the church. But Tai Chi is a very beautiful exercise, and I think you'll enjoy what she can demonstrate to you, and maybe you'll even want to take her class, which is here on Fridays at 10.
Well, first of all, I have to say this was strong on me, and I had to run over to the office and get a wireless mic because, Tai Chi moves around, and I don't do it in tennis shoes. So for those, several of you are actually in my class, so just ignore this. So Tai Chi is a form of Qigong. Qigong is an ancient Chinese art of moving energy, Qi, through the body, using breath and intention, imagery, but breath in particular. And Tai Chi, Qigongs usually stay in one place. You'll be moving back to back, front to back, side to side, but it doesn't travel through space. So you can be doing things like this, or stretching, or, but Tai Chi uses the same thing, but travels through space, has a choreography. And there are many, many different styles of Tai Chi. Yang style, which I know and teach, is the gentlest, smoothest, and slowest continuous motion. Doesn't have sharp changes like some of the other Tai Chi forms have. And so, I don't know if I have room, but I think I might. Some of the, I need to do a little bit of warming up myself, and you can do this with me. You can breathe with me, and if you want to stand, you can stand. But I need to do some deep breathing, and so I will do breathing in and breathing out, and breathing in and breathing out. And almost everything in Tai Chi is in a circular motion. And if you're not going to hit anyone, you could do this. Breathing in as you go up, and breathing out as you go down. And in the Chinese Tao tradition, this is, the yin-yang symbol, that's the symbol of Tai Chi. So the idea is that there's yin energy of the earth, and that's the female principle, the cool, nurturing, and then there's the yang principle, which is the masculine energy of the sky and the warm, active principle. So when you're doing this, just this much, you're bringing up energy from the earth through your soles of your feet, and then pulling down the energies of the skies to the top of your head. So, a few more. and get myself grounded. Okay, so what I will do is demonstrate the short form, which is 24 moves, 24 positions, moving between them the best I can, having not warmed up, having had no prior warning. And you can look to see the breathing and the energy that gathers in a ball. You know, there's always a ball of energy, and then it's sending. And Tai Chi is a martial arts form as well, so that you're gathering your energy, then you send it against your opponent. And if you can really, really gather energy and chi, you can actually move your opponent. So every movement has a little bit of a ball, a little bit of gathering, and a little bit of sending. So I'll start here, and hopefully I will not kick the altar. Okay. This is called Part the Wild Horse's Mane. And it does 3 times. And this is called White Crane Spreads Its Wings. And brush knee. So you're sending your energy out, and you're also warding off someone who's coming behind you. Playing the lute. Repulsing the monkey 4 times. Your hand is pulling your opponent as you smash them in the face very gently. Always being careful never to step directly behind yourself, but always on a diagonal. Holding the ball, warding off a blow, grasping the bird by the tail, pulling your opponent down to the floor, pushing them away, releasing them and then pushing them up, and gathering your energy to do the same thing on the other side. Then inhale as you gather your energy. Exhale. Single whip. And snapping the whip. Waving hands like clouds. And in Tai Chi, you never get to stand on 2 legs at the same time. Never double weighted. So as soon as my weight is transferred to one, the other one releases its weight. And again, single whip. High pat on horse. So you have the horse's muzzle, petting them up here, crossing the wrist. Heel kick. Step forward, box your opponent's ears. Turn, another heel kick. Snake creeps down, and if I were 25 again, I could go all the way to the floor, which is what you're supposed to do. Rooster stands on one leg. And another snake creeps down. Kind of hard to do on this brick. And golden rooster standing on one leg. And holding this little ball, fair ladies working the shuttles. and pushing your opponent, shielding your head, needle at sea bottom, breaking a chokehold, fan to the back, fending off a blow, blocking, parrying a blow, stepping left, punching, and warding off, wiping off the energy, releasing it, pushing it up, and gathering your energies again from the earth, pulling them into your body, and releasing. All of you can learn to do this, with little hesitations, and some better than, and you're all welcome to come Friday at 10 o'clock in the fellowship hall. It's free. We've been doing it for about 10 years now, and got some good practitioners right here.
Very graceful.
Well, thank you all so very much. I'm sorry that we're making it brief, but I think that you'll be happy that we are not trying to think of something else just to chat about. So we do hope that you will come again next month. It's the second Sunday of every month, and we will remind those musicians way in advance the next time. And do stop on the way out and take another look at Susan's work. And thank you all so much, and a Happy New Year to you. Oh. Well, I was just reminded that there is a basket there for the artists. Unfortunately, the visual artists don't get any. It's usually for the musicians who are all union members, and we do need to pay them. So if any comes for tonight, we will apply it to the next musicians that come. Thank you very much.